Hi and welcome to the Handyman at Home channel. Today I'm going to be replacing the grill element on this Neff oven. Minor panic last week, couldn't grill my sausages. So we're going to get that done, but first thing is that I'm going to look at the element that's been delivered. So I ordered it from a company called elementreplacement.co.uk. It's not a sponsored video. The reason I mention it is the fact that I was quite impressed with the ordering capability on the website. Very easy to find the right grill element, fingers crossed, for your particular model of oven. So first thing is, let's get it out of the box, have a look at it, check it's the right, looks the right size, like right fit, and then we can start to actually do the job. So nicely packed in a foil sealed bag. Managed to drop the screws on the floor. So let's get this open. Okay. Now I can't put it in all the way because we obviously have to take the old one out, but just looking at it visually, it looks the right size and shape and format. Central screw point there. This oven needs a clean, but let's not focus on that. Now to fit the new element, we're going to have to take the oven out of the kitchen cabinet. So it makes sense to empty out all the grill, the pan, etc. Get it as lightweight as possible before we try and lift it out. It's probably harder than replacing the element. Before we do anything, we should make sure the oven's isolated. In our case, we've actually got two switches, one for the top oven, one for the lower oven, nicely marked. So I'll turn off the top oven, but I'll also go back to the consumer unit and isolate it there with the MCB. Right at the consumer unit, actually in the garage, we'll turn the breaker off for the top oven, and again I'll do the bottom one as well. Now obviously all the usual safety precautions and warnings apply. You should be really a qualified electrician, but if you're reasonably confident, know what you're doing, it's fairly straightforward. So we have a look at the back of the switch. I don't know if you can see, but this is marked live out and neutral out at the top, and live in and neutral in at the bottom. So it should be these top two connections plus the earth connection that we need to detach, assuming the Sparky did the job properly. Before we do anything, I'm going to put some cord around the cable in question, because when we take it out, it's all going to fall down behind the cupboard, which would be a real nightmare to get back up. So hopefully we can tie this here and then use the string or cord to pull it back up when we've done the grill replacement. I'm just going to put the Torx head screws back in to secure these side panel trims so they're not flopping around. Right, it should be loose, so let's see. It's not, we just lift it up. Let's clear of that. Put it back. Well, thanks guys, that's really helpful. Somebody's tagged the cable to the back of the cabinet. What the hell are they thinking? Right, time for the trusty workmate. Hopefully that'll give me somewhere to rest the oven while I deal with the cable behind. See what I mean? Really unhelpful, guys. Now I can see what they were thinking, that if you avoid pulling it out too far, you wouldn't pull the cable all the way down and then have to rethread it. But as we've seen, there are ways to solve that problem. But doing it like that, that's just really poor. Well, it's out, so we should be able to get on with replacing the grill element. Okay, to get to the back of the element, we need to take this back trim cover off. So there's a number of Torx screws to be undone. Again, these are all T15. As far as I can tell, there are 9 screws. 2 at the top, either side, another 2 here, another 2 here, 2 on the side, and 1 in the centre there. We'll see if I've got them all. Before we can lift the back off, we need to pull out the power connector, and it seems as though there's like a little plastic tag there that you move over to the right hand side and allows you to remove it. Hopefully that's enough. So I've also undone 2 screws securing the top panel. I don't know whether it's necessary to take it completely off. It's all made from very sharp metal, so be careful when you're handling it. That seems to be snagged on something. There we go. Well, at long last we can see the back of the element. 5 connections, and just tucked behind the insulation is a Torx head screw here and 1 here. So firstly we need to disconnect each of these, make a note which leg of the element they go on, and then we can undo these 2 Torx head screws. So I think the one on the left is probably a thermistor or some sort of temperature sensing, and it seems to be held in with a spring clip. So I don't know if you can see just there's 1 leg of the spring clip. So I'm just going to bring that out, and that should, well, it seems fairly stiff in there. So I'm just gripping the cord or the wire as close as I can. Yeah, it was just a little bit stiff, and out it comes. We can see there. Right, the others are general spade connectors, which you can do with your hands, like so. You can use a pair of pliers if they're really stiff. I find if you waggle them side to side, they eventually come off. That's it, all 4 done. Just to avoid dropping it, fingers crossed. Do the second one over here. And we can see the element starting to waggle. It shouldn't drop off inside because it's still secured by a screw, but no major worry if it doesn't. Okay, so I've moved it onto the island just to make it a little bit easier, not quite as low to bend down to, and slightly better from a filming point of view. So there's a central screw holding the element up. Again, Torx head. So I'll just undo that. Hopefully you can see I'm not in the way. And compulsorily drop the screw, and there we go, it's out. Okay, refitting is just the reverse. Make sure the thermistor housing is on the right hand side when you put it in, otherwise it'll be upside down. Guide it through centrally. You can see where the 2 bolt holes line up. Take our little screw, put it through. Just screw it in enough so it holds the element up there. So I've just put it in with some pliers just to get it positioned. Pull it forward. And you can feel it thread in. I'm not going to tighten it all the way until I've got the other one in. Okay, tighten them both up. I'll nip round the other side and just tighten up the central screw supporting it. So that's the whole element back in. Reconnect in the correct order. Brown, in my case yellow, it's a beige colour, red. The thermistor in, push it in with the spring all the way in, catch it into the slot in the housing there so it doesn't come out. That's it. One last check. So as is usually the case with these things, the actual removal of the element and fitting the new one, it's actually quite a small job. It's all the other stuff that you have to do beforehand and afterwards. Take the oven out, get it somewhere where you can work on it, put it back in at the end of the job. So we need to slip the top of the upper edge underneath the top cover. The two side screws back in for the top cover. Not going to tighten them up completely. So make sure the back cover is in the correct position before you start putting screws back. I'm just going to put one in the center here. So just to keep things tidy and allow me to get the oven back in, I've just put a self-adhesive tie wrap base on the wall. It doesn't matter if it ultimately comes loose over time. The main thing is just to keep that from flapping around. And then should I ever need to take the oven out again, at least I know what's there, but I can also, a firm yank will just pull that tie wrap base straight off, giving me more length of lead to play with. Okay, it's back on the workmate. Got the cord, lightning symbol facing us. There's something not right there. So it just needed a little bit of jiggling side to side to get it to sit properly on the base here. Don't worry too much about the trim piece here that looks like everything's out of line. That's actually mounted to the shelf there. It's a bit down on one side. It's always been like that ever since it was fitted. So all we need to do now is secure the oven back into the cabinet. So partially remove the two side trims, screw into the cabinet and then refit the side trims. I will film it, but I think everybody will know what to do. And here's the money shot. Sausages are back on the menu. So there you go, replacing the grill element on a Neff oven.
If you found this video interesting or useful, then please do consider giving it a like, or also consider subscribing so you don't miss out on future video content. Also helps me grow the channel. Thanks. Right then, I think I'll call this one done. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.